There we go.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the Friday Night Prepper pre-party show. And let me tell you, we have a fun one planned for you tonight. I have some wonderful people. When I think about the people in the preparedness community who are full of goodness and light, the three guests, and there's a fourth one coming later on tonight, absolutely are on the good list. They are not on the naughty list. And I am excited to have them here with me. Absolutely are on the good list. They are not on the naughty list.
Oh, who's got their phone on? Oh, who's got their phone on? Who's that?
Hang on. Okay, how's it sound now?
Sounds good.
No more alien speak.
Yeah. Yes.
Everybody clear? Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So usually when that happens, it's because there's a window open somewhere in the background. So I closed out all the ones that I had, which weren't open to this, but who knows if that had anything to do with it or not.
Oh man.
Sorry to the audience. If you watch this on replay, I'm probably going to try to edit that out tomorrow morning. So hopefully you won't have to hear that screeching. But anyways, let's try this again. Welcome back to the Friday Night Prepper Pre-Party Show. Tonight we're going to be talking about the holiday gift-giving guide. And I brought on some of my favorite people in the community to share some of their stories about the holidays and things, rituals, and traditions that they might want to share. I have a couple quick things to share with you all real quick. So number one, I want to say thank you to Silver Oceans for the Christmas card. I did receive it. Appreciate you. And while we are going to be talking about some gifts tonight, keep in mind that all of us agree that a couple things. Number one, that's not really what these holidays are about. It's just like a secondary thing to it, right? So don't make commercialism and materialism the center of your holiday. Gift giving is definitely a tradition for many families around the world. And that's why we're talking about this and kind of hopefully generate some ideas for all budgets. I know that everybody in this chat would agree with me, in this stream would agree with me, that we do not want you to go out and blow your credit card on a piece of kit that's not in your budget. So we're going to talk about some stuff that's very on the low end of budget. We're going to talk about some stuff that's like on the high end of budget for those of you who have the pie in the sky budget to work with. But don't go out there and blow your credit card on preps. I never think that that's a good idea, especially if you're not in a financial position to do that. Always, it's best to focus on your food pantry first and your water purification first before you go after anything else, including fun things like knives and books and flashlights. All right. All right. That's enough of the introduction. Let's start with Lee, Cold War Prepper. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your channel and your content.
I'm just an old fart that's been prepping for a long, long time.
We love you, Lee.
What kind of things do you talk about on your channel, Lee?
I primarily try to focus on food storage, food prep. If I can ever learn how to edit, Sarge, then I can put some of these cooking things I'm trying to do together to show you some things I'm doing with long-term storage food. One of my main areas of concern is something nobody very seldom wants to talk about, and that's because it has to do with poo-poo. And I am scared to death that poo-poo not taken care of in a post-apocalyptic environment is going to kill us all. Oh, so I'm one of those people who talks about that and says, "Hey guys, have a plan on how you're going to manage waste." So that's one of my big mantras is manage waste.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Yep. All right. Thank you so much. And Lee, you have a guest coming on tomorrow night on your stream, don't you?
Oh man, tomorrow I am so lucky. I've invited who I consider to be one of the kings of prepping, and we're going to pick his brain. This is going to be part one of a 2-part series. So tomorrow we're going to have a little bit of fun, just learn about him. I'm going to have questions from the audience. Somebody by the name of Prepping with Sarge. And so that's going to be at 8:00 Eastern, 7:00 Central. And so if you all can join us, write in your questions and everything. Later, we're going to have round 2 of this, where we're going to be talking to him about another one of my extreme concerns and that is the emotional effects and how to deal with them after some sort of traumatic event. So we'll be talking about that on a more serious level. Tomorrow's having fun for the holiday seasons.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. And I see, Biggs, you're helping out a little bit with the mods. I really appreciate that. Thank you to everybody who popped into the stream. I see people in there. Thank you for sticking with us through that audio technical difficulty. Y'all are awesome. If you have questions as we go, please throw them in caps. Sassy Gal Prepping, how are you doing tonight?
I am good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Tell us about your content.
Well, I don't know how to talk about what I do on my channel. I just put videos up. I do a lot of hauls, though, where I try to teach you how you can save money, stack coupons, look for deals. We are doing right now, we've been doing for the past, I guess, 5 weeks or so, a $5 Friday. And that is an open collaboration. So if anybody wants to do that, all you got to do is upload a video where you spent $5 on Friday on prepping items, and it could be anything from supplies to food to, I don't know, hats and scarves, things like that. But the idea is to take either sacrifice a $5 spend that you would do during the week, like for coffee or maybe a lunch or something like that, and put that into your pantry. And before you know it, you have I've had a good little bit. I put it over in the corner, got a little bit of stuff going. I've been filling the holes. So you'd be surprised what you can still find for $5. So that's one of the big things that we're doing. And in 2 weeks, I was just telling you all before we started, I'm going to be doing a Christmas trivia. And I don't remember that's a week from Sunday.
Awesome.
So we'll be doing a live stream that evening, and we'll be doing live trivia and just having a fun time. So y'all better be there.
Awesome. So it's the trivia questions are going to be about prepping or Christmas or both.
Just Christmas and just Christmas. Let's just take a break from talking about knives and and food and stuff.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Digital, how you doing today? It's good to have you back.
Pretty good. Glad to be here.
What you got going on your channel?
So for anyone who isn't subscribed or anything yet, I deal with digital preparedness, which is essentially things like cybersecurity, cyber attacks, and basically how to integrate technology into our preparedness plans. So like how to keep yourself safe online, how to secure your phones and other devices, just general stuff like that.
And we like that.
Very cool. All right, so we got a pretty good diverse group here. Alpine Preparedness is hopefully going to join us a little bit later on. She did contact me, and she is in the air right now, so hopefully she will make it in. But she's doing her best. There was some travel delays that's got kind of against her, not within her power. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with what are some of the traditions in y'all's families that you celebrate during the holidays that you might want to share with the prepper community, and what are some ways that we could adapt that for people in the prepper community?
Okay. we have kind of a unique situation. I'm Catholic and my wife is Methodist. So, trying to get both of those together. So what we've ended up doing is we used to go to Romano's Macaroni Grill on Christmas Eve. And until one night we were dressed casually, and there was another couple that was dressed really nice, about ready to go to church. And they got all the service. We didn't get service. And we have a type 1 diabetic in the group in my family. And after an hour, we hadn't even been given our drinks. So we just got up and walked. And so now we go to Chinese for our Christmas Eve dinner. We go to a place in Round Rock called Hunan Ranch. And then we come home. We exchange our gifts on Christmas Eve, so that on Christmas Day, we're pretty much focusing on the religious aspect of it. So I go to midnight mass, and because I have to stay up for midnight mass and go to midnight mass, that makes me Santa Claus. So anything when I come home from midnight mass, everybody else is asleep. So I get to do all the Santa Claus duties, and then I go to bed, and then the family wakes up, and then after when everybody wakes up, then we go to the Methodist service. So we can have everything kind of that way because of our idiosyncrasies within the family. Then we go to my daughter and her husband. He likes my barn Frühstück. So I cook a German breakfast meal, which is basically a mountain man breakfast with 2 dozen scrambled eggs and mashed potatoes, everything mixed into one pot, and sausage and everything else. And so he just loves that. So I fix that for breakfast over there, and that's our tradition.
What time can we all come over for that?
I know,
That's
right?
We usually eat around 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And this year, I don't know if I've shared it with anybody, but we had a little present arrive at 4:58 Thanksgiving morning. And she was 10 pounds, 2 ounces, and 22 inches long. And her name is Zane Marie.
Oh, congratulations.
We had a little Thanksgiving present, so that this will be her first Christmas, so it's going to be special.
Yay!
That's
That's awesome.
Yay!
That is fantastic. Yeah, I love that. We had our best friends had a baby a couple years ago, right, like a couple days right before Christmas, and it just made the holiday even that much better.
Yeah.
Aww, that's nice.
What about you, Sassy? You got any Christmas traditions you'd like to share, or holiday traditions in general?
Well, I'll just kind of do what Lee did. We have our big dinner on Christmas Eve. We don't have any family nearby, so like our family are like states away, so it's very hard for us to really see everybody over Christmas. But we do a big Christmas. We go to a Christmas Eve service, which is our church has a few different ones to choose from on Christmas Eve, so we'll just go to an early one. We have dinner in the evening. And we have all the traditional things like, ham and sweet potatoes and all the good goodies. And then Christmas and morning, when our kids were little, they would all go to bed, and then Dad and I would put all the toys together and, be Santa Claus and stuff and do all that. But Christmas morning, we have cinnamon rolls and coffee, and everybody opens up stockings. So that's kind of what we do to kind of wake up. And then we kind of have a light breakfast kind of. And then we open up all of our presents, and then we graze all day on the food that we had yesterday. But we also steam shrimp. So that's usually around dinner time on Christmas Day. We would shrimp. So that's like we've had that in the freezer for a while because I wasn't sure if we were going to find it this year. And then we would pack our suitcases and leave the day after Christmas and go down to Virginia Beach and see my family, or my husband's family, actually. But we go down there and we would spend a few days there visiting with everybody.
Nice.
And have another Christmas. So we like it that Christmas lasts like a week in our house.
I love that. So have you seen the movie Four Christmases?
Yes. Yeah, it's kind of, when I was growing up, it was that way because my parents were divorced. So I had like Christmas Eve over here, and we had Christmas morning here, and Christmas Day in the evening over here. And then I would go up north when I lived in Michigan. That's what we called it. And I would go up north for the week after Christmas with my dad, and we'd go, all winter sports and all that stuff. So yeah, it was like, I've had like 5 Christmases every year for my ever since. So anyway, yeah, we have lots and we decorate from November on because we have like 5 trees in our house and stuff. We love Christmas. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
Good deal. Yeah. How about you, Digital?
So we normally have 2 separate kind of Christmases, one with my side of the family and one with my my wife's side. But for my side of the family, it's nothing too ridiculous, but we like to do yearly like white elephant gift exchanges. And we like to get like just ridiculous items, like the more ridiculous, the better. But like just something under like $20 or something. Like I remember last year, I brought a chia pet. So it was kind of hilarious, because they're actually pretty heavy. And so, you have one person, kind of like shaking the box, and they're like, "Oh, I I want this one. And then they open it up and boom, chia pet.
Nice.
I can't believe chia pets are still around.
They are.
Oh my gosh.
Just wait for the Chia Pet Mandalorian.
Oh, that'd be cool. Chia.
Yeah, someone chia.
Yeah. I remember all those commercials from the 80s. Yep. Good stuff. So the white elephant game, that actually that's something people could adapt to their families, or like if they want to meet with their prepper friends, their mutual assistance group or whatever. You could do a version of white elephant where everybody has to bring some kind of preparedness gift.
I love that.
Or you could do well, actually, I think one of the things we're going to talk about here is we talk about a few different gifts, and we're going to get into that in just a second, folks. The if you have family members who are not into preparedness and you want to start to ease them into it, this is a good time of year, because a lot of times people who are like, nothing bad's ever going to happen, they're not wanting to spend any money on this. Get them a nice book about like canning or something. That's a nice little gateway drug into preparedness. Or some gardening seeds or something like that, right, is also kind of a gateway drug into preparedness. But
it really is.
It really is. Real quick, for me, a tradition that my Mrs. Sargent I do is on Christmas Eve, and I absolutely love this. Is one of my favorite things. We watch It's a Wonderful Life, which is all about gratitude and service, right? It's a life of service and thinking that you're not really rich, but you really are, because your friendships, right?
Yeah.
And how your friendships influence other people's lives and make things better for the world and that kind of thing. And it's just such a beautiful message for us for Christmas Eve. We usually do that with a little bit of appetizers and a little bit of wine, and that's kind of our thing for Christmas Eve. So it's a lot of fun, and we kind of make that like our serious ritual, and then we have other fun rituals and stuff like that.
Right.
So starting off on prepper gifts, maybe we could start with like some low cost items, things like that. Actually, you know what? Let's go homemade. Let's start with homemade, right? What are some things that come to mind for you all if you're thinking about a gift for the prepper in your life that's homemade or recrafted or repurposed or something like that? What kind of things come to mind for y'all?
I have two, and both of them deal with paraffin or wax or beeswax. I did a video on my tuna can Boy Scout stove. So you cut up a cardboard box and put it inside a tuna can, and then you pour melted paraffin on top of that. So that's a good handmade one that's going to be, especially if we have another snowmageddon here in Central Texas. And the other one is doing survival candles. Some of them candles either out of beeswax or paraffin. Soy paraffin seems to be very popular, but I don't think it burns quite as long.
Oh, nice.
But, either candles or the Boy Scout heating stove.
And isn't it also like good for your skin?
Paraffin?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, if you have any pimples, it'll definitely pull all the blackheads out as you peel it off.
Isn't that the stuff you would be able to like stick your hands in and let them, like if you had arthritis or something, you put them in there and then you would let it sit on there for a while?
Yeah.
I think my dad used to do that.
Very cool. Yeah. I love that. That's great, Lee. What about you, Sassy?
I've actually been thinking, I've got a few books that I got from farm markets that are talking about, like gifts in a jar, and you have a mason jar and you can layer it with dry ingredients to make soups. So like the person that you give it to may only add, some meat, or they just literally dump it and in a pot and you cook it. And so not only does it looks pretty, but you're also giving them something that is shelf stable. And it might come in handy if something were to happen, like there's a, I don't know, power outage or, you're giving them food, but it's a gift and they don't really, I'll just make this whenever. I have gotten several of those and they're up in my cabinets, and then I just pull them out maybe in the fall time and make a soup or a chili or something. I like those kind of gifts, cause they're just nice. They're pretty and they're practical.
Nope. I love that. Yep. How about digital? How about for a gift for us? If our computer's broken, you'll fix it for us.
Maybe, just give me your address, your social security number.
What kind of homemade gifts do you got or come to mind for you?
I'm one of those weird people. I like to give people, kind of like food-based items for Christmas. So like, I've given people, like homemade hot chocolate, for example, and it kind of works out because they're also very interested in like how it's made, because they go and they buy the expensive store hot chocolate when it's easy to make themselves. But another thing that I've actually been looking at giving to people, just because I've tried it myself and it works, and it's pretty awesome. I know a lot of people don't like mushrooms, but mushroom growing kits like oyster mushrooms, lion's mane, that type of stuff. I've actually been looking at giving people mushroom kits just to kind of get more people into mushroom growing. They're really easy to grow.
That's a good idea. I've seen a lot of those.
That's a fun gift. Yeah. I love that.
You can help me. I can't find the right click on my mouse.
Oh, that looks like one of them Apple mice. They have one click.
1 click, 2 click, 3 click, 4. Uh-oh, Sarge froze again.
Did Sarge freeze again?
Looks like it. Sarge, come back.
Yeah,
So
I like those.
He's talking about he gives fudge sickles and popsicles. Anything that's frozen too.
The Biggs Prep, I see she just said, what about yarn for all the crocheters and knitters out there? That's a good idea. If you know someone that is a crocheter or knitter, that'd be cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
my sister actually, she actually, she's real big into like artsy type stuff. And she's made us hats, socks. She's even crocheted me. I have to post that on Twitter one of these days. She crocheted me like a whole lemon, just like it looks awesome. It's a nice yellow color, nice lemon looking, lemon made out of yarn.
Wow.
At Pioneer Spirit, I have a neighbor just down the road here, and he has a Ford F-150 in the urban camouflage shades of gray, black, and white. So yes, that looks kind of neat. That is a neat.
Even like making lap blankets or something, just having a little bit. It doesn't have to be a full-on blanket, but in a lap blanket that can help keep your legs warm or your feet warm during during these colder months.
I think heavy quilts are going to be extremely important in the future.
Yes. Yeah. Somebody was saying over in the chat that there was llama yarn. Where'd it go? Llama yarn mixed with wool. Vanessa Kitty said that. And that's the wool part is I found an old army blanket. I was going through some stuff in the basement and clearing things out, and in there was that army blanket that, my goodness, I've had forever. Those things don't go bad, I think, but it's great for camping. It was great.
My mom made a quilt for me out of my old blue jeans and then some red handkerchiefs. But it was so heavy that I couldn't ship it every time I had a permanent change of station in the Army. So I left it with her. And yeah, it's gone. Okay, Sarge.
Welcome back, Sarge.
Yeah, I think the computer issues are on my end. Safe to say. I apologize. Jody Vassar had a question there. Do any of you know anything about that Vivor heater?
Yeah, which one?
Can you see it on the screen there?
No, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm sorry, Jody.
Jody, the one that I'm recommending right now is made by Vesta, and it's called the Instafire Vesta Space Heater. So it uses the little safe heat cans you can get at Sam's, 12 cans for $20. And one of them powers a thermal exchanger, so that it exchanges heat into electricity and powers a little fan. Then you can put up to 2 other safe heat canisters in it, and that'll blow warm air throughout a room if you need it. I bought that after Snowmageddon last year, and really love it. It's just trying to get enough canisters of safe heat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So somebody, Bacon was talking about a book called Trebuchet Home Defense for Dummies. Let's go to books. I think books can be a fantastic gift, especially when you're trying to introduce somebody to a new topic, right? I'll go with one here that I'm into right now. This is the one of the foraging books that I've got. This one's by Dr. See if I can get in the screen there for you. Dr. Mark Merriweather Vorderbergen. And I got to meet him at Georgia Bushcraft. He actually signed it for me.
Oh, wow.
Really, really cool guy. One of the best.
No. Okay, really cool guy.
In the country. If it drops again, I've got a different plan on how I can get back in.
Okay, we see you.
So give me. I can't write as fast as you talked. Prepping for.
The foraging guide.
It was foraging. Mm-hmm.
It's Dr. Mark Merriweather Vorderbergen. Put it in the screen there.
Vorderbergen. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, Cynthia.
But if you just search Dr. Merriweather foraging, it's gonna come up.
Okay.
Super cool guy. I took some footage, which I put a little bit of that up on Instagram. Eventually, it will find its way onto YouTube as well. What about you guys? What kind of books do you like? Would you recommend as a gift? Anything come to mind?
I'm giving 3. So I'm giving volume 1 of the American Survivalist series, which is Going Home. I'm giving a autographed version of volume 1 of the Stonemont series by Stephen C. Smith. And then I'm giving the 1 Second After, the Fortune trilogy. That's available now, all 3 books in one box.
Ooh,
nice.
So I'm giving the whole trilogy as a gift to another person.
Wow, that's nice. That's nice. Books are hard, unless, at least, I don't know. It's hard to know who's going to read. At least for people that I know, like in my immediate family, everybody is so much on the go. But I like the foraging book or something of a how-to book. And that's like maybe square foot gardening was a big one for us in urban. We're not quite urban, but we're not country either. So whatever, we have a small piece of land and we can do some square foot gardening. That'll at least get you started on something small rather than having a huge garden.
Yeah, that's a great book.
Yeah, I love those. We did that for a little while, and now we're graduating to something a little bigger.
Oh, nice. For me, I do kind of I would recommend like any of the books by what's his name, Dave Canterbury.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have let's see, I have one of them right here.
Oh yeah.
The Bushcraft Field Guide to Trapping, Gathering, and Cooking in the Wild. I actually got this for like last Christmas from my wife because I've been interested in wanting to like do more camping and do more like foraging type stuff. So if you're kind of into that, I definitely recommend that book.
Yep, sounds good. A couple people in. Oh, sorry.
No, I just said nice. Sorry.
A couple people, Wayne, and a couple people in chat said Art of War, which I do recommend everybody read that one. Mm-hmm. And it's you can apply that to other aspects in your of life. It's not just about warfare. Of course, it was written that way, but you can use it in relationships, in business. Basically, it's all about setting up advantage for yourself And of course, the most practical application for it is in warfare, which Lee, I'm sure you probably read that one during your military service time.
Yep. And we did a lot of training business-wise around that too. There was a version of it made for marketing and salesmen and.
Yep, it's a good book. I recommend it. And if you can get the illustrated version of it, it's even better because it kind of shows you some diagrams and stuff like that. And pretty cool stuff, even for me who's not had any military service. Really, really cool book. I think I read that when I started my martial arts, actually, and I was kind of thinking about it from that perspective. Because you can use same concepts in sparring too, right? You know, setting up feints and things like that, and you know, understanding the person's strengths and using those to your advantage and that kind of stuff, and kind of thinking outside the box with how you approach everything, really.
Yeah.
Budget gifts. I think I was going there, and then I got disconnected. What kind of things come up for y'all for budget gifts? Something under 25.
Under 25?
Under 25.
Under 25. One of these.
Was that
little tools in your wallet things.
Yeah.
Whoop! Wait, where'd it go? Can you all see it? Yeah.
Yep.
These, you can find these on. I think I have one on my. Yeah, I've got an Amazon link I can send over. But I thought these things were kind of neat. This one has a screwdriver on the one end, and it would be flathead. It has a little saw blade on the bottom. You see that right there? I thought that was cute.
That
Sorry.
is cool.
It has a box opener, so it's got like on this end, it was a cutter, like a box cutter on there. So anyway, I thought this was really cool. It's got 26 tools, 17 functions, made with 100% stainless steel.
Oh, nice.
So,
That is pretty
nice
cool.
stocking stuffer. Bought another whole bunch of these to give to the family. So.
I love it. Uncle Al, I see your comment. I must have missed something. You probably talking about the Morgan that I'm giving away. You guys can check out. I think it was last week's live stream where I talked about how you can enter that if that's what you're talking about.
He's also talking about Zippo lighter kit. That's about $20, and that's a great kit.
Yeah.
What was that? The what?
The Zippo lighter kit.
Ooh, yeah.
So you get a Zippo lighter and a can of lighter fluid, and then you get a little package of like 5 extra flints. My gift is going to be a small tape measure. Now, you think it's crazy, but in sniper school, they teach you to measure everything in the world around where you are. So when you're just kind of walking around, like in your neighborhood, you can measure the diameter of a tire of your neighbor's truck. And then through scoping and everything else, you can determine the exact range to that tire from where you are. So you can use it if you have this, and you can identify the width of objects at distance. Then as you're developing a shooting card, you can identify the exact range to each one of those targets. So I'm giving.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
That's really cool. I love that. Are you gonna teach them how to do that too?
Yes.
Yeah. Very cool. Digital, what do you got under 25 for us?
For me, I actually have a tactical pen. I carry this thing around everywhere. Like you don't like. I'm probably hopefully I would hope never to need to use this. It has like one of the points to bash out your windows. It also has a pen in here, a screwdriver. Just like little stuff under $25. I would always buy one. I've had this thing for maybe like 5-6 years, and it just sticks in my pocket just in case I need it.
Very cool.
That's awesome. And it was called a tactical pen?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Who makes that one, Digital?
This one it was so long ago. I think it's probably one of those kind of Amazon Chinesium looking just under $20 ones. But yeah, they have a bunch. I can actually look for like a good one that I would recommend and you could link it in the description if you want.
Mm-hmm. Apartment Prepper navigating the nonsense says, leave it to you. I'm going to say under $25. I think they're selling for $25. One of the great budget blades out there is the K-Bar Dozer. And I did
I was going to talk about that. Look at this.
You got one too.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a no frills pocket knife. Like there's nothing fancy about it, but it is incredibly well built for under $20.
I need a knife, so
$25. And
I want to get
it
one
has
of
all
those.
the durability, dependability, and it stands behind a good name of K-Bar. I mean, this is in my EDC bag.
That's exact. Yeah, that's I'm writing it down.
So if you have somebody like Prepping with Sarge as a friend, and they quite often go out and hit the trails, those types of people quite often will carry one bag of instant meal that all they have to do is heat up some water and pour it in and eat that meal. So for those people in your life, I'm going to recommend an extra long spoon.
Ooh.
So that you can reach down inside the package and you don't have to get your knuckles inside. This one happens to be a Toaks titanium, and this one is a plastic one from Walmart. The plastic one from Walmart is $3 or $4. The Toaks titanium has a smaller bowl, and it costs you $19. It weighs half an ounce less, but if you're tired of getting your hand down inside your pouch when you're making your food on the hike, get yourself an extra long spoon.
Nice.
Yep.
I didn't even think about that. Like even having having a Harvest Right freeze dryer, and I never even thought about like having a longer spoon to eat out of the packaging. So that's something I'm gonna have to put on the list.
Yep. Yeah. If you've ever been camping and you're trying to do that with like a standard fork or a spoon, it's just a little bit frustrating. Having the extra long one definitely is a nice thing. All right. Well, what about if you? I got it. For the children, like Lee said, there's a new baby in his family, right? I love for all of the kids that, like, I have numerous godchildren because people, when they have babies, seem to think that I'm going to be a good godfather. So
I have my first one.
So for everybody watching this, I'm not taking any more godchildren. Okay, don't ask. I have enough. But what I do like to do for them, is start them on silver, right?
Nice.
And so you can get, you can go in as low as like $10, $15 to get, some constitutional silver. Under $35, you could probably find something like an American Eagle or a Morgan or something like that. And then what I do is every year on Christmas and their birthday, they get another one to add to that. When they get it, it goes to their parents, of course. You don't give those to a little kid, because what are they going to do with it? They're going to spend it on candy.
Oh, yeah.
So you give it to their parents.
My birth year does not coincide with a Morgan, nor does it coincide with a piece. Regardless of what you think, I'm not that old.
Gotcha.
However, I love that idea.
Yep.
We have given an American Silver Eagle to my daughter, 1989, to her husband, 1988, and then to two of the three grandchildren so far. And so one of the things that my daughter reminded me was, Dad, we need a 2022 Silver Eagle now that we have Zane. So I've got to make arrangements, but gosh, they're already out of circulation.
Yeah, the American Eagles have been the American Eagles. Some of the other channels in the silver community would probably be able to answer this a little bit better, but I think the U.S. Mint has been not procuring as much silver for minting as some of the other mints. Like right now, you can get the Austrian Philharmonic a lot cheaper than you can an American Eagle, and it's the same amount of silver content. Last year, the British, the UK, the Britannia was a lot cheaper than the American Eagle. So you got to kind of know the market a little bit, but American Eagles, Morgans, things like that, you can't go wrong. What about Digital and Sassy? What do you all think for like the little kids in the family? What kind of prepper gifts come to mind for that?
I gotcha. Let's see. Here you go. One slingshot.
Oh,
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
Probably not to the like super young ones who maybe won't know how to handle this, but I mean, it's pretty fun.
Yep. If you have an adult teaching them how to use it responsibly and not to aim that at, anything that they don't intend to hurt, right? Like it's an opportunity to teach responsibility. I love that.
Yeah. I guess my thing is, again, going back into getting them any kind of a terrarium or something, kind of a grow kit to teach them young, even how plants, the whole plant photosynthesis and all that stuff. We did that in homeschooling, and we just, of course, we can do things outside, but, obviously age appropriate. You can teach them how to care for, plants and the environment and things like that, and make it fun. And, and hopefully they will want to go out there with you in your gardens and want to do things with you as well. So, but getting them their own little thing can also be nice. They can take care of their own little plant.
Yep. That's how I got started in gardening. My mom basically let me pick what I wanted to grow,
Oh yeah.
And it didn't do well, but she made it into a learning experience. And and I was like 4 years old and fell in love with gardening from then on, What about, I thought that somebody, Uncle Al said the trench shovels. That made me think, what about like the adolescent that's getting their first car?
Oh, wow.
They need one of those, everybody needs one of these, but they definitely need one of those jump start kits, like just something with a jumper battery, all of that stuff. Everybody needs one, but them especially, just so that they can kind of understand, hey, stuff might happen while you have a car. I know some people, they're not going to buy their teenager a brand new car, so they might get something used, something with some miles on it, and it might have issues, and they need to be taught how to jump their car, maybe how to fix a flat tire, all of that kind of stuff. Definitely.
Yep. Do you know of a good brand, Digital? I'm looking on Amazon right now trying to find a decent one.
Not off the top of my head. I don't know the brand off the top of my head, but I can definitely throw in a good one that I currently own.
Okay.
I have something that I got from a what do those people call when they come to your house? They do house parties or whatever. And I think it was Damsel in Defense, or maybe that's not the right thing, but it has something defense in the name. And I have a kit, and it's called Junk in the Trunk. And it's got jumper cables in it. It's got all the stuff that Digital Prepper was talking about, things for tire pressure gauges. And of course, doesn't have, changing your tire and stuff, but it has that kit that's got all that kind of stuff in it, flares. It has a little thing I can stick on the top of the car that's like a light, in case it's dark or something. And
nice.
One of the things that was in there was a seatbelt cutter and stuff. And I'll have to see if I can find out if you can get that online or if you have to have a party. I bought it, and that was one of the free things. I wanted that. And so it's been, and like young, especially young women that are learning to drive, that would be great for them, to have a little kit in their car that has that. They may not know how to use it immediately, but if there's someone there that can help them, they've got the equipment in there and it's all in a bag. So.
And LG, I see your comment there. I think it was that one. Did you mean a fire extinguisher for the car? Which I think is a fantastic idea.
Yeah, definitely.
My daughter thought I was a kook for giving her one.
Does she have it in her car?
Yeah.
Good.
Is it like the small? Don't they make some that are like small?
It's like a 1.5 pound. I mean, it's really small, but
yeah.
And first aid kit.
like that big. That's my grade.
About that big. You're
That's what I
exactly
was.
right.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's very good. Very good.
But I think education, teaching them how to
Absolutely.
how to hook up the battery cables, teaching them how to change a spare tire, that kind of education, I think, goes a long way as well.
Yep.
That's
Also,
actually. Go ahead. Look at that. I give him the floor and he stalls.
I froze him.
I'll jump in since he froze. There he is.
what's the anti-Santa there? What's his name? The
Grinch?
No,
Krampus?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I think Krampus is on, kind of on me tonight for something. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't even remember what I was saying. Go ahead, Sassy.
Well, we were talking about car stuff and educating and teaching, and that is one thing that my daughters are involved in American Heritage Girls, which is another type of scouting program, character development program. And that is one of their badges that they have to learn is auto care something.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And that just everything you just described, Lee, is something they have to get under the hood. They have to learn, all of your basics, learning the basics of changing a tire, how the engine operates and stuff. So, I was surprised to see that in there. And then they updated the books last year. There's a badge in there now that's called self-sufficiency or something like that. And I'm like, oh, we are earning that one this year. So anyway, I'm impressed. So
yeah, I'm glad to hear that they're still teaching kids this type of stuff.
I use that book that has all of the badge programs that covers 6 different frontiers. I use it for homeschool and can build my curriculum around that for science and history, and it covers everything. And some of them are so detailed, like the money management badge. Every person needs to take money management course,
so
but the girls have to plan a budget based on like a job they can see themselves doing at around maybe 23, 25 years old, and work a zero-based budget. And it's a big project, and it's one of the required ones that they have to have if they're going to go for that highest award. So I'm really impressed. It taught my girls about the economy, how things work. Money doesn't grow on trees, that kind of stuff.
I love that.
So anyway, that was the American Heritage Girls program. We're on to other things.
I like that. I really like that.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the program. But that's not a Christmas gift. But it does apply to prepping. We've used a lot of
skills. Here's a spiral-bound book for $17.98. Is that what you're talking about?
What's that?
This is Spiral-Bound Girl Handbook by
American Heritage Girls?
Yeah, American Heritage. Is that?
Yeah, so it's based on levels. So like if the girls are smaller, so we have 4 different levels. So by age, there's one book that covers the 2 lower levels, and then there's one book that covers the upper level. So I would say like upper grades, junior high, high school, and then your lower grades would be elementary, middle school. And and those books have everything in there from personal care, to outdoor skills. Boy, we work that. And oh my gosh, history, science, all of them. Wow. And you can go on the site and look it up, buy the book, and you won't get any badges, but you can do the work if you want. So hi everybody, whoever we're waving at.
Angie said hi to me. All right, so what about pie in the sky? Pie in the sky. Like if you are on big budget, you happen to be your bank account is rolling with the big dollars. What how about this? What's on your pie in the sky wish list for the 3 of you?
Oh my, hold on a second. Let me look.
Well, we just added 8 more panels to our roof.
I was just going to say solar panels.
So we had 16, we added 8. And the salesman and I were talking. He says, "Do you want another battery?" And I said, "Well, this one didn't, only lasted me for a day or 2 during Snowmageddon. And with all the ice and overcast and everything, we didn't have any charging for like 6 days. So I don't know if we're going to call that a wishing type of thing, because that was expensive. We had to, get that on credit. But adding more solar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Solar-
that's
solar?
on my wish list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
same here.
I'm going to say Berkey for me, a big Berkey, because I don't have one, and I wish
we
I
have
did.
one and we never set it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm so
those two, the solar and the water filter,
Yeah.
are they're on my list. The water filter, like I keep pushing it off because I'm like, well, I'm not necessarily going to use it, like at this moment. Like I'm really going to have it more for like a just in case, and
Like us.
so it would just like live in the crawl space for a little bit until like something really bad happened, and then I'll pull it out. But which is why I've been kind of pushing it off. I mean, I would recommend, just because I have one.
It's hard, that commitment.
Yeah, exactly. But like I would recommend, just because I have one already. I mean, if we're talking that you have the funds for it, obviously. One of these Harvest Right freeze dryers is amazing.
Yeah.
Like I've been using it ever since we bought it. We bought it maybe like over the summer, back in March, and we've been just freeze drying everything: candy, meals. We freeze dried some of the like leftover Thanksgiving food that we had, so we can eat that later.
Oh.
Could even eat it next Thanksgiving.
That is definitely a cool gift. Let's go once more around, and then I'm gonna start to close us out. So anything you can think of, that we'll go one more round, starting with Lee, that we haven't said yet, and that you think, okay, this is a really cool gift that people should kind of think about. I wish that we had mentioned this one.
One of the ones that I'm doing, just for Christmas cards and stuff to people who are in the business world with me, or in the church with me, or whatever, is I bought a box of Nutrient Survival coffee, and so inside their Christmas card, I'm putting one stick of either with their coffee drinker, one stick of either the instant coffee or the Nutrient orange drink. And you can do the same thing. You can get some electrolytes and instant electrolyte and like hydration kits, and put those inside your Christmas cards as you're giving away, just as a small here's something to get you interested type of a gift.
Okay,
I like that.
that is cool. Lee, you give good gifts.
Thank you.
Do I get a Christmas card?
Sure. Send me your address.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is really cool. All right.
I don't know if one thing that has come in really handy for us this year, and we invested in, it's not a real big investment. It's about $149, $149. I can't remember exactly the price, but it was a water distiller. And it has come in so handy, because there were times over this last year that distilled water was like non-existent, and we need distilled water. I need it for my hydroponics gardens. My husband uses a CPAP machine. Humidifiers that we have in our house too. It is, distilled water is a necessity, and we just hadn't been able to find it. So I just distill my own water and, store it. We actually go through it pretty quickly, just because of the hydroponics gardens that we're using now. So, but yeah, it's affordable. It takes 3 hours to distill a gallon, but it was worth it, because if you can't find it, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's not bad.
So I thought, anyway, it was affordable. Oh, Sarge left his own.
We were boring him.
I guess, yeah. Well, how about you, Digital Prepper? It's your turn anyway. So,
I mean, I guess one of the things that I would give to people, just to kind of get them started with their like digital preparedness is one of these guys.
Yes.
This is a 256 gigabyte flash drive, and you're probably looking like, wow, 256 gigabytes fits in this thing. Yes.
Wow.
And funny enough, this thing is only like $60, and 256 gigs will be enough to kind of get you started with storing all sorts of like media, like digital media, if you have like books or movies, or I mean, even if you kind of look at my channel, I've had different kinds of applications and such that you may want to save important documents and things like that. Just something to kind of get started with. That's pretty much it.
No, that's great. I love that.
All right. I am back through trying something a little bit different here. So as we wind down, did we get to everybody with like what's your final? Okay.
Yep.
Sarge hasn't done his yet.
Yeah, Sarge hasn't done his yet.
Except for you, yeah.
I'm gonna say a good flashlight. If you are still using like an old flashlight from the 80s or even like early 90s, the technologies in flashlights has significantly improved, and you can get like I just got 2 new ones in the mail. This is the Powertac Saber. Like, this is a little AAA flashlight. This little AAA flashlight will light up my whole backyard. And
Wow.
just the amount of power that they can put into a small handheld flashlight now compared to what it was just 20 years ago is amazing. So I've got flashlights from the 80s that still work just fine, but it's for not too much money. You can do a serious upgrade on your flashlights, and it's like that's your first line of defense in security situations. And if you're broken down in your car, it sure is nice to have a really nice flashlight with you. I've had times at work when the power goes out in the building. Guess who's the only guy that's got a flashlight?
Nice.
We have a flashlight in every room of the house.
There you go.
We know where it is, just in case there's a power outage at night. You have light within arm's reach.
Yep.
Absolutely. We just got a bunch of these little flat motion censored lights that will pop on. You can put them in closets or down hallways.
Great.
And yeah, they're great, and you can just stick them on, or you can actually put stuff. But it's especially when like in a couple closets we have where they don't have switches for lights. That's great because you just go in there and wave your hand and the light will come on.
Oh,
so
nice.
that'll help too. Like you can if you can't put a flashlight in every house, you can probably put those in there. So oh my word!
Wow.
Double the Sarge.
That's what we need to be in 2 places at this time.
So the question of the night is, which one looks better?
I think what I need to do one night is make myself my own guest. I could have like Sarge and people talk.
At least you know the questions ahead of time.
That's right. Yeah, and Bacon suggested here a good power bank. Absolutely.
Yes.
That's great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's right, Wayne. The old mag lights, they're still good, but compared to what the modern stuff is, they just, it's the new stuff is just amazing what they can do. So
nice.
All right, let's start to wind this one down. Go once back around, and anything you want to promote or talk about that you got coming up, go ahead and do that. Since I'm on here twice, I'll talk twice. Go ahead, Lee.
Oh, I would like to promote tomorrow night where I'm interviewing Sarge on my channel, and that's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. So join us for that. Bring your questions if you would like to. And then Tuesday night is our nonfiction book club. So right now we're doing Dr. Bradley's book. So Dr. Bradley is the NASA EMP expert. And so he wrote a book, Disaster Preparedness. And so we're going to be on chapters 3 and 4 of this coming Tuesday night. So join us for that as well.
What you got coming up, Sassy?
We have the continuing Friday 5 open challenge to spend $5 a week on prepping supplies for your home. So that's an open collaboration. Just tag me with the @ Sassy Gal Prepping, and YouTube will notify me that you mentioned me in a video, and I will add you to the playlist. We have a really big playlist on my channel right now. So you can go check all of those awesome channels out and what they're getting. And then I did check the dates. December 18th, my live stream, December 18th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do Christmas trivia and just have some fun. Bring your Santa hats and your Santa pants and and put your trivia hats on, because we're going to have some fun. So
Nice.
Nice.
For me, I do have a couple videos coming out probably either over the weekend or next week. One of them is talking about how data, like what are data breaches and security breaches, and like how can we like prepare ourselves or protect ourselves from those. Also, I'm actually getting something from IOSafe delivered sometime either tomorrow or next week, and I'm going to be looking over that to review. So keep an eye out for that.
What's IOSafe?
They're a company that makes NAS devices. So that one video that I had about NAS devices, that'll kind of go over everything, because they've kind of sponsored me.
Ooh,
Very cool. Yeah, I got invited to do a sponsorship and a brand ambassadorship with a flamethrower company.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was just like, and Mrs. Sarge was like, "Well, you should take it," and I'm like, "Well, as tempting as it is, YouTube is not exactly friendly to that kind of content. And second to that, I live in a city. I don't have access to a good area where I could play with that thing. So I had to, unfortunately, say, I really appreciate the offer, but I just don't have a place to put together good content for you. I'm sorry."
In the forest.
Yeah. I've got I'm working on editing the video. I've got it done, a video on my SE knife. I bought this at Georgia Bushcraft, and SE was like one of my grail knives that they're a little bit pricey, but they are really well made, and I've wanted one for so long. So I got that when I was down at Georgia Bushcraft, and I got to interview some of the guys from SE. So I have that footage too. So that's coming out probably Tuesday. And then, of course, I'll be on Lee's channel tomorrow, Cold War Prepper, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And next
Friday.
Yes, digital. We're you could talk about that. What do we got going on?
Yeah, actually, I almost forgot about that. Next Friday, me and Sarge are going to be live with Indiana Preparedness, another cool prepper channel that you guys should take a look at.
Absolutely, and we're gonna have him host it, so we'll post links to that and everything as we get closer. But that will be cool, and he's a really good guy. He's over on Twitter too. So for some reason, it's just like sometimes people put out great content and YouTube just doesn't suggest them. He's got good content. He's a good guy. I don't know why YouTube hasn't picked him up and sent him out to anybody. So we're gonna try to get some more eyes on his channel.
Because he's a prepper. YouTube doesn't like preppers.
Prepper. Yeah. All right. Well, let's start to wind this one down. I really appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for the chat with all the technical difficulties on my end. In retrospect, I think probably what I should have done was reboot everything in my house before I went live. But I appreciate everybody being patient with that, especially the audio issues in the beginning. I want to say a big thank you to the mods for helping us out and dropping links. Really appreciate you all. And the biggest thank you of all, of course, to the 4 guests in the room, all of whom are on the nice list, not the naughty list.
Yay!
But it costed a lot of money to get there.
I'm so sorry that Alpine Preparedness didn't make it. We'll get her on another night. That's the artist formerly known as Van City Prepper. She just got caught in some air traffic, so she's delayed. But yeah, appreciate you all. You all are great people. So fun having you on the channel. You always are welcome back anytime you want. And I want to say, have a great weekend, everybody. Remember, if holidays are tough for you, I understand that. If you've lost, especially if you've lost somebody, just know that over time that does get easier. As a therapist, one of the things I tell my patients is consider, if you're dealing with grief during the holidays, consider doing it a little different, right? So what that does is you're not completely tossing the holiday out the window, but you're mentally and spiritually, things are different. This person isn't here with us anymore. They're here with us in spirit, not physically. And it does help a little bit if you do that. If you need to tone down the holiday from your usual rituals because of grief, sometimes that can help. But over time, it does get easier. I totally understand that. I lost somebody on Christmas Eve years ago, and it made it difficult for several years to be able to find that joy again. But it does come back, I promise. Yeah. So just know that you're in our prayers as well. And thank you so much, everybody. I hope everybody has a great weekend.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys.
All right. I'm going to log us off. And if y'all want to stay on for just a second here.
Sounds good.